This is my third take. I just wanted to get that drip right, you know what I'm saying? So guys, welcome. It's been about a year since I posted my last video, and that Dwight video got like 3.7 thousand views, so thank you guys for seeing that. That's like the 5th result when you type in how to draw Dwight. So I'm gonna redo that one for the people that are curious. I will redo it, and I'll do a colored version too. So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, how do I make my art look more aesthetic? Alright, there is no guessing here. There is a formulated, calculated way to make your art look more beautiful. Don't believe the BS they tell you when they say, oh, all art is beautiful, you can just splatter paint. Look at that. Paint on the wall. It's art. That's wrong. I'm just kidding. And it'll make sense in the context. You know, if some rich person was like, yeah, I want to buy that splatter, it just speaks to me. It really speaks to me. The way that it splatters. But for the rest of us who aren't in a position where we can just splatter and sell it for millions, here are some ways that you can make your art look more beautiful. And I'm going to use my latest art as an example. So number one would be the rule of thirds. Now the rule of thirds is basically, it's a photography term too, but it's when you imagine lines overlaying your art and dividing it into 3 sections horizontally and vertically. And on those lines that divide it, that's where you're going to put your most detail, because the human mind works a certain way, and that's why these principles will work. It's because the human mind is math, and we've basically been alive for a really long time. We've had all this time to evolve and just get to this amazing, like really amazing state that we are in right now, to where we can even build technology like this. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I just love the point that we're at right now. It seems like things are booming. But rule of thirds, you're going to put your most detail on those lines that divide your painting into thirds. This works for logo design, anything visual you can apply this to. So this is going to really help a lot of people out, I hope. And that's pretty much it. You're going to put the most detail on there because your eyes will lead to it. It's like putting it in the center. You'll see this. If you put it in the center, it doesn't look good. Put the detail on the lines that divide it into thirds. Next, I'm just going to say it, guys. 3 is the magic number. This ain't no witchcraft. I'm just telling you straight up, 3 looks better than 4, and 3 looks better than 2. I think 6 might look better than 7, and 6 might look better than 5 too. I think what this actually is that multiples of 3 looks good. I could be totally wrong about this, but my personal perspective is that when things are in 3, it looks good. And I'm sure there's data to back this up scientifically, but you know, when you go get a drink at a fast food place, there's never like 4 drink sizes. There's always 3. And actually, now that I think about it, I remember hearing a study where they were talking about you know, fast food commercials, and how they never put more than 3 things in the picture. So you'll have like the burger, the fries, and the drink. And that's like the best example I can give you. It just looks better. Now on top of that, this is the 3rd rule. The last one was 3 is the magic number. I have my notes here. But the 3rd rule is that those 3 objects need to have the biggest one, and then you need to have the medium object, and then you gotta have the small object. And that is simply because we need context. We're like, how are these all the same size? My eyes are confused because they're trying to look at everything. Because in art, or in anything visual, the biggest thing is what our minds see as the most important. So whenever we look at something, our eyes will always go exactly right to the biggest thing first. We can't even help it. We won't see the smallest thing. You can't, even if you try. You will see the biggest thing first, and then you'll see the medium thing, and then you'll see the smallest thing. So it really helps to have a nice flow to it. And you'll see in my painting, that's why I have those bubbles leading down to the detail point. So it's like Fibonacci spiral, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about because I'm leading this all together. Biggest, medium, small, and then here you have the detail. And then I just incorporate other stuff, but it's good to have the initial big objects. Quick tip is, before you start any painting, if you're kind of intimidated, I would recommend just making a bunch of thumbnails and deciding which one looks best from far away. And you can do this really fast. Just make a bunch of boxes on your paper. You don't even have to draw the specifics of the shapes, but I mean, just look at this. I redrew my drawing just so I could reference it. It's just a bunch of shapes, you know, but when you zoom in, then you can actually make those shapes into something more specific. So that's just a quick tip. But yeah, essentially here we have the Fibonacci. It goes, you know, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard that term before, the Fibonacci spiral. It goes hand in hand with the big, medium, small thing, because essentially you start with the biggest thing, and then the spiral, it's like big, less big, less big, you know, it's like a spiral. It's a spiral. And it is meant to lead your eyes to the detail. Another cool thing, I'm going to throw this in, but it's not all that, but it's just repetition. Whenever we see things repeated over and over, just like in nature, a lot of these tips can be seen from things in nature, like leaves, grass, trees, cracks in the ground. It's all repetitive, it looks cool, it's freaking dope. Whenever we see things lined up next to each other, you can feel it inside. It feels good. And that's another thing with music too. Everything in nature repeats itself. It's crazy. So yeah, I pretty much mentioned everything that I wanted to say. One last thing has to do with nature. Fractals are seen everywhere. So if you want to make your art look really cool, do a fractal. And what is a fractal? Guess what? You are a fractal. Bet you didn't know that. So what a fractal is, look at me. I'm a stick. Let me get up for this. I'm a stick. But what else do I have? 4 more sticks. And then what's on these 4 sticks? 5 more sticks on each stick. Look, I even got toes. And that's that. So you might want to draw a tree and then have it branch off into 2 more branches, and then on these branches they branch off, and then these branches branch off, and then more branches branching off. You know what I'm saying? So we're just out here talking about nature, talking about math, how to make things look better. I'll be releasing those videos soon on Dwight. Thank you again for watching. I'm really curious to see how many of you remember me from about a year ago, and I'm going to keep this a constant thing. I'm going to do at least one video a week, at least. So thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. If you got any value from this, I hope you did. So peace out. I'll see you later.